Welcome back to Capital Market Live on Channels Television. Get on Twitter at CTV Tempele and of course at Channels TV, just in case you've got your thoughts to share. A few weeks ago, we told you how the Association of Stockbroking Houses of Nigeria is bracing up for the establishment of a Commodities and Futures Exchange. After a successful capital raising exercise, it's our privilege to have in the studio with us right now the acting Chief Executive of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, Mr. Akin Akeredoluale, who's going to be telling us about this latest development. Congratulations on your successful PP, private placement of 500 million naira.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So what led to the establishment of a commodities exchange?
Well, basically, the first thing that we looked at in 2015 was that the economy of Nigeria required a diversification. We had a monoproduct economy whereby our income was coming from the oil sector alone. And then also we're looking at the capital market to our daily member firms to have them to have a diversified position to their income stream. And then we looked at it that there was a need for financial infrastructure for the commodities and agriculture sector. And also there was a need also for the infrastructure for the other sector to be able to galvanize the commodities market in Nigeria towards a centralized position whereby people can trade on it and everybody can benefit from it. So the Stockbroking Association decided, and we spoke to all our members, the daily member firms, and there was a consensus in 2015 that there was a need for a commodities exchange to come up. And since then, the process started for the commodities exchange to come up.
This brings us to the question of capacity on the part of traders and capacity on the part of investors. I mean, there's got to be a lot of awareness creation, there's got to be a lot of investors education. Yes,
in the strategy document, one of the first things we did was we engaged the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. And what the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers did was they came up with a curriculum. Okay. You see, the commodities exchange value chain is very long.
Right.
The brokers are just at the peak of the value chain. That's the upper part of the value chain. You have commodities inspectors, you have the graders, you have the warehouse people, all those people. So the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers have started creating capacity whereby for the first 12 months, they're going to be training about 250,000 people. Great. And in the next 4 years, they're going to be doing about 1 million people in the value chain. But that's not going to affect the daily member firms that are going to be trading at the peak. The daily member firms are going to be trading on what we call the LERQ. That's the Lagos Commodities Futures Exchange quotations receipt. Okay. That's the receipt that the daily members of firms are going to be trading at the peak. Okay. Initially, they're going to be trading on spots, which is going to be starting first quarter next year. And then the capacity is there for our members. Our members have daily members have the OMS there, and then we're not reinventing the wheel. We have signed an MOU with the Nigerian Stock Exchange, whereby that's the platform we're going to be using. We have engaged them in the central securities clearing system that's going to be settling the trade. We're having discussions with the interbank settlement on how the settlements are going to be done. So the infrastructure is there, and the value chain is being built, and the capacity is being built by the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. The CIS is going to be doing the certification for people that are going to be participating in that value chain at various levels. There's some levels that's for the diploma, there's the diploma, the advanced diploma, and there's going to be the capital market, the commodities market operators at the highest level before the daily member firms and the brokers. So the whole value chain is being worked on, and we're going to be rolling out in first quarter 2018.
So the Abuja Commodities Exchange was in existence, right now operating skeletally, but it doesn't look like investors had keyed into it for so long. So if an investor now wants to, get involved in these, what does he or she have to do?
You see, the first thing we did was the 500 million raise is focused on the daily member firms first. Okay. We want our members to have the first right of refusal, and that's why we did the first private placement for 500 million. Okay. It's just closed. We're not going to open it to the public for investors that want to come in and participate in it, and that's going to be for the second capital raising. But for now, we want our daily member firms to be able to participate and benefit first from it.
So when is it coming on stream?
You mean the commodities?
The
Lagos Commodities Exchange is going to come on stream first quarter next year, and then we're going to be doing our first spots trading before the end of first quarter next year.
Wow, that's interesting. So there's a whole lot for investors to watch out for. Okay, let's talk a bit about the partnership you signed 2 weeks ago or thereabouts with the Moroccan Moroccan counterpart. I don't know how to pronounce that nomenclature.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about that. What does that, is that in connection with the Lagos Commodities Exchange?
No, the Moroccan Stock Exchange came to visit the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Okay.
We are the umbrella body for the dealing member firms. We had to sign an MOU on behalf of our members with their members too, because they brought in their own stockbrokers association to sign with us. And basically, the total focus, the focus is about cross-listing and how we can collaborate on skill sets and capacity building and also trading. Okay. And one of the outcome of the things that we had on the meetings is that by mid next year, that's second quarter next year, we should be able to do at least one single cross-listing by the second quarter next year, or there should be a trade by the second quarter next year.
So how will futures actually play a key role in all of this?
You see, there's no way that you're going to have a futures market without a vibrant sports market. So the first thing is we want a vibrant sports market. Is when you have a vibrant sports market, is the sports market that becomes an underlying instrument, underlying asset for you to have a futures market. In the roadmap that we have for the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, the futures market is going to take off in the next 24 months. Okay. Because the futures market is about contracts more for the futures than the sports. So the sports market has to be very, very functional, has to be robust. Then we'll now move towards the futures market, which is when people be trading the contracts. For example, you have a sports person you can trade for like 1 year. That's when you can you know that this man can produce for the next 1 year. I can do futures contracts on it and to be traded on the commodities exchange. The commodities exchange, what we're doing is we're going to have what we call the, like I said earlier, the LERQ. That's the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. And the quotations receipt is an electronic receipt. It's the electronic receipt that will be issued on the various warehouses that will be traded on the platform.
So this is commodities. It's going to be dealing more with a lot of the farmers that we've got, because agriculture is taking off right now in Nigeria. What's the kind of relationship that you're cooking up with farmers in Nigeria now?
Let me say something. First of all, the commodities exchange they were setting up is not about agriculture alone. Okay. If you go and look at the prospectus, we have agriculture as one part of it. Okay. We have solid metals as part of it. We have currency. Then we have oil and gas. Now, what we're doing is the first part of it is commodities. That's the agricultural commodities, which is going to be part of the roadmap in the first 18 months. In the first 18 months, simultaneously in the next 9 months, we'll start looking at the oil and gas commodities, to the deliveries and the contracts there. But in the first year, the agricultural commodities, the way it's going to work, like I said, is there's going to be in the first quarter next year, very early next year, we're going to be registering warehouses. And those warehouses are not going to be standardized. Okay. After the standardization, then we're going to be engaging the insurance companies that are going to be doing the bonded warehouses for them. Then after that stage, then we now move to the stage of certification and certification. Yeah, certification.
And of course, other things will follow.
Exactly.
Congratulations on this establishment. More grace to your elbows at Ashon, an association of stockbroking houses of Nigeria. Mr. Akredoluwale is the acting CEO of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, and of course the first vice president of the Association of Stockbroking Houses of Nigeria. It's a great deal to have you here on the show. Next week you should be having the 2017 NSE CEO Awards holding on Wednesday at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. It focuses on brokers and dealing member firms and all that you have. That's all the time we have on Capital Market this evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Temple Ashaju, and of course I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.